Here's the devotional focus for May 1st, 2020. May we bloom. Among the various focuses of May 1st, which is noted on the calendar as May Day, is the thought of May flowers. These are what are said to be brought by April rains. The buds begin to form and the blossoms open up, and we are encouraged by the varied colors blooming around us. Are they not something which bring us a sense of serenity in the midst of the commotion of life? It has been noted that God doesn't need to put a sign in the corner of a meadow saying, "Made by God," because no one else makes meadows. Flowering meadows are part of God's art in the world He created. The colors are vivid. The movement in the wind is as a graceful dance. Do we not consider such scenes as places of tranquility in an otherwise frenzied world? Understanding flowers are a part of God's wondrous creation, consider Jesus' words as he exhorted away from living anxious lives in Matthew chapter 6, verses 25 to 34, where we read in verses 28 to 30, "And why are you anxious about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which today is alive and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith?" Every time I read the description of the temple Solomon had built, I imagine a beautiful, ornate, and magnificent structure to have beheld. Also, as the Queen of Sheba noted the clothing of Solomon's officials and servants in 1 Kings 10, verse 5, I would imagine how even more splendid was that of Solomon himself. Nevertheless, Jesus noted that even Solomon was not dressed as lovely as the flowery grasses of the field. Humanity has become adept at sewing beautiful garments, but they still do not come close to the beauty God created around us. However, Jesus' point is that if God has placed such interest in clothing the grass of the field, which holds its beauty only temporarily, how much more He is mindful of our needs and desires us to trust Him as we seek first His kingdom and His righteousness. Anxiousness and worry keep us from blossoming and blooming as the beautiful believers in God we ought to be. As children of God, are we focused on blooming where we've been planted? Are we trusting Him to sustain us so as to thrive by the eternal hope that is ours in Christ? As a part of God's marvelous creation, being wonderfully made, Psalm 139, verse 14, may the beauty God created us to possess blossom more fully in our daily life. Have a great day, gloriously blooming to the glory of God.